Most of us have had Pav Bhaji in restaurants. We have tried making Pav Bhaji at home. We've also eaten cheese Pav Bhaji. But have you ever had Pav Bhaji Fondue? Fondue is a Swiss cheese dish which is served with a lot of dipping elements, like there is melted cheese in the center with a hot flame underneath, and it is served with meat, potatoes, pickles, onions and stuff like that. Now if you will ever go to Switzerland and order fondue and expect that you would get something that you get in Indian restaurants, you are going to curse every Indian restaurant you've tried fondue at. And now today in this video I am going to even murder that actual Swiss fondue to make this Pav Bhaji flavored fondue, which if a European will try is going to definitely want to murder me. But it is so delicious and you guys have to try it. So before I begin making this recipe, if you haven't already, then please subscribe to my channel and hit on the bell notification so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. I'm going to start by adding some oil to my pan, and to that I'm going to add a generous amount of butter. Once the butter melts, I'm going to add these onions and some capsicums. Now we are going to cook this till the onions and the capsicums become a little translucent. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt right now to help along with the cooking of these onions. Salt always releases the moisture of vegetables so they cook faster. So it's a good idea to add some amount of salt in the beginning of the cooking. Once these onions are slightly translucent, now I'm going to add the garlic. I have used about 3 to 4 large cloves of garlic. Let this cook completely. The garlic has cooked completely and now I'm going to add the tomatoes. And now after this stage, I'm just going to add everything together and pressure cook it till it becomes soft and mushy. And I have found that if the onions and garlic are left raw, then they don't have a they have a very strong flavor. So that is why I pre-cook them and don't just pressure cook them with the other ingredients. And now this is done. So I'm going to add the peas. This is some chopped up cauliflower. Cauliflower is optional. If you don't want to put it or you don't like it, then you can omit that. And this is one chopped up raw potato. Stir everything well. Add the remaining salt to season. And now I'm just going to let this cook for 1 or 2 minutes while I ready all the other masalas to put into this mix. Now I'm adding all the spices. This is some Kashmiri chili powder for the color, some Pav Bhaji Masala and some turmeric. Even at this stage it is smelling so delicious. And now I'm going to add some water to this. We have to keep it thick only. I don't need a lot of water, just enough to build the pressure in the pressure cooker. Mix it and then I'm going to pressure cook it for 4 to 5 whistles. So this Pav Bhaji mixture is ready, and to this I am going to add 8 cubes of processed cheese. I prefer to use the brand Amul. You can use whatever you want to use, but this is my preferred choice. Now I know that 8 cubes sounds a lot, but let us remember this is not cheese Pav Bhaji. This is Pav Bhaji Fondue. So the major ingredient has to be cheese, and while this is warm, when I grate the cheese into the Pav Bhaji mixture, the cheese will melt little bit easier. And then anyways, to make it smooth, I am going to run it in my mixer grinder and make it into a smooth fine paste. Because of the carbs like peas and potatoes that we have added in the Pav Bhaji, this, and of course along with the cheese, it's going to have a very creamy and smooth texture, and that is what we want, so that it coats every bite of the pav or the toasty that we will serve it with, and taste really delicious. If you want, you can reduce the quantity of cheese also. This is my preferred quantity. You can go up to 4 or 5 cubes, but nothing less than that. Anyways, this is a very cheesy and a heavy dish, so you cannot have it as a main meal or something that you would have as a main course. This much quantity is enough for 6 to 7 people if you are going to serve it as a starter or a dip. So you can adjust the quantity of cheese, make it whatever makes you feel less guilty, but more cheese is better. Now finally, I have added all the cheese, and before I grind this mixture, I'm going to add a little bit of Pav Bhaji Masala again to keep the flavor slightly strong. Because we're adding so much cheese, it will make the flavor of the Pav Bhaji mild. So just to keep it a little bit strong, and just like 4-5 drops of lemon, not more, just 4-5 drops of lemon. And now I'm just going to crush this in my mixer. I have used water to blend this mixture well, so you will need to use some water to blend it. You can use a little bit of hot warm water also to blend this well. And that's it. This Pav Bhaji fondue is ready. In my fondue, I have used more cheese, so it is more cheesy. If you will use less cheese, then it will be more Pav Bhaji. Now this fondue will become grainy if you try to reheat it. If that happens, then first of all, heat it on a very low flame. Don't heat it on a very high flame, otherwise the bottom will get burnt. And also, if it separates, then don't worry, just mix it in the mixer, and it will become smooth again. You can use some warm, if you are keeping this in the fridge, then it will become tight and it will firm up. So to loosen it, you can use some warm water as well to get it back to its liquid consistency. Just adjust the seasonings. Maybe you can add a little bit of Pav Bhaji Masala to bring up the flavor. Now, just like Pav Bhaji tastes better the next day, even this Pav Bhaji fondue will taste better the next day, because the masalas and the spices, they've got time to release their flavor into the fondue. So you can very easily pre-prepare this before a party and just heat it up and re-blend it the next day. If you know that you are going to use this after some time or the next day, then you can just boil the Pav Bhaji and do the cooker part of the recipe, add the cheese to it, and then just keep it like that in the fridge. The next day, heat it up and then blend it in the mixer to get a smooth fondue. You can also microwave this if you don't want to heat it on the gas and you want to avoid the burning it from the bottom. Just microwave it on low heat, and after every 30 seconds keep stirring it so that there are no hot spots in it and it doesn't get burned from one side. So this Pav Bhaji fondue is now ready. I have served it with some khari straws, masala pav bites, normal pav bites, and papad. You can also serve it with french fries or potato wafers or even tortillas. You can be creative with what you want to serve it with. Don't just restrict it to breads, because this is a very cheesy Pav Bhaji flavored cheese which will go well with a lot of things. So I hope you guys enjoy this.